Vice President and founder of the New Democrat Network and a former campaign advisor for President Bill Clinton. Matt Schlapp is chairman of the American Conservative Union and former White House political director for President George W. Bush. Matt, it really is that simple. $20 trillion our deficit is approaching. Something has to be done. Is this the right thing?
You know, Sandra, what's really scary about that figure is it actually doesn't capture all the ways in which the government is indebted, all the promises we've made to all these Americans over the generations, all the guarantees we've made to things like pension programs and everything else. If you look at our total indebtedness, it's real easy to get depressed. And the one thing Mick Mulvaney was completely, absolutely right on, the most important point he made is that if we can't get our economy growing, we've got to get out of this 1 or 2% growth phase, and we've got to get this economy growing. We've got to add jobs. We've got to make sure that without a growing economy, you're never really going to take care of this huge debt problem we have. And
Mick Mulvaney, the budget director, speaking at the White House earlier, trying to clear up some of this. Simon, when you look at the proposed cuts over the next 10 years, $616 billion come from Medicaid, Children's Insurance Program, $193 billion in food stamps, $143 billion in student financial aid. Do you object to any of this?
Well, two points, and because Matt said something I want to respond to, which is that, you know, we tried this strategy that Donald Trump was proposing in the Bush administration. We had big tax cuts and defense increases, and where we ended up with is a great recession, a financial collapse, lower incomes, and bigger deficits. And we're trying exactly the same economic strategy again, and I'm worried that we're going to end up with the exact same results. And I think in terms of the spending cuts you're talking about, they disproportionately fall on Trump voters and people who are watching this program right now. The people who are going to be most affected by these cuts are regular, everyday people in the heartland of the United States who are going to be tens of millions of them are going to be far poorer.
Hold on, before you go on, let me get Matt to respond to that.
No, far poorer than they were before.
Simon knows,
Matt, go ahead.
As Simon knows, there are no cuts. The president comes out with his budget, and we have one reconciliation moving through Congress, which is to reform health care, a second one which will be moving through to reform our tax code, and then we'll have all these appropriations bills. Democrats and Republicans will fight it out on what these levels are. But I think it's pretty fair to say the government is too big, it does too much, and it's okay to be responsible and say, look, we have to tighten our belts if we're ever going to do anything about this debt.
And especially when you look at the growth forecast, Mick Mulvaney was pointing out they've got 3% projected, Simon, and he was saying it should be more ambitious than that. We should be talking about 4% growth because 3% just gets us back to normal.
Right, but it's sort of like the Harry Potter School of Economics, frankly. I mean, the last two times the Republicans have been in the presidency, we've had recessions, higher deficits, and lower incomes. The last two times we've had Democrats in the White House, we've had growth, job creation, higher incomes, and lower deficits.
All right, well, we need all day to debate that.
But that's fact. That's fact. It's like the sky is blue. It's a fact. And so the point is that if you're looking for fiscal responsibility, you look to Democrats. If you look to growth, you look to Democrats. You look to rising incomes, you look to Democrats.
Matt gets to respond.
Right?
Go ahead.
Sure. Go ahead, Matt.
Simon, I will admit that Republicans have been irresponsible on spending decisions as well, okay? There's a lot of bipartisan criticism to go around, but the fact is this. We all know this. Republicans want to spend a little more on defense than Democrats want to. Democrats want to spend more on almost every domestic program under the sun than Republicans do. And Republicans do believe that cutting taxes and allowing taxpayers to hold more of their money will actually spur economic growth. These are things we can't deny. And the fact is we had the Great Recession because government got way too involved in the housing market, and we should never do that again.
All right. Well, hey, guys, as I said, we could debate this all day because there's so much to it. We'll have to bring you back. All right. Simon.